were not able to we were not able to get officially the Malaysian channels, but sometimes you can get it, so off the air. So every night, I think it's when it gets played before the end of the show, right? Bravo. Okay, you're not everyone's nodding away. Okay, good. So I got it right. So it gets played and it's sung by friend Peters. It's played on TV1 or TV1 or TV2. And I remember, if you saw me just now, I was singing the words. I can remember the lyrics to that song, and I'm not even from Malaysia. Right, so interesting. I saw most of you know this song, and while we may be born in Malaysia, we may not be born. The question today, the topic today is about being Malaysian. Now, before I start, if anybody wants to share this on your social media platforms, please feel free to use hashtag being Malaysian, hashtag my Malaysia. Okay? I have to do the, the in thing right now, hashtag thing. Okay. So, I was asked by my friends recently, or actually constantly, do you feel Malaysian? So it's perfect. It's a perfect timing because when Daniel asked me, Mr. President asked me, Didi, can you help be one of the facilitators for this? I was like giggling inside, like, you're asking an ex-Singaporean to do this part. So I thought it'll be an interesting journey because I hope to bring a fresh perspective to what being Malaysian is all about. So most times when we ask, are you Malaysian or who is a Malaysian? Most times we're thinking of it from a look perspective or a language perspective. But today, it's about how a Malaysian behaves. You know how when you go traveling and then when you go to a certain country and then you see different groups of people, so they could be Asian looking. And then you start figuring out, are they from Singapore, are they from Malaysia, are they from China? And sometimes some of the behaviors that they demonstrate reflect a little bit more of which country they're from, right? So I remember queuing up at a VAT counter at the airport, and then all these people rushing, cutting queue and all that, and they were like, oh, it must be from that country, right? So we are really Malaysia's best brand ambassadors. How we behave in our country and out of the country, we want to show people who Malaysia is all about and who the Malaysians are all about. So today's topic is about being Malaysian. We want you to relook, redefine, rediscover, and see how being Malaysian, just being mindful about how a Malaysian behaves. Okay, so let's do the first thing. What are you grateful for, Malaysia? I'm sure everyone has something that they're grateful for. Roshan, maybe you can start the thing. We want you to write 3 things, right? We agree on 3. 3 things that you are grateful for Malaysia. Okay, wait, let us go through. Yeah. What you can do is click on this link, or if you can scan the QR code, again, a thing these days, click on it and it will bring you to a page, and then there will be 3 columns, 3 lines where one thing. So one line, write the one thing that you're grateful for Malaysia. Okay, so everyone can click on it in the chat. Can everybody get to that? Right. If not, you can copy the link and go to your browser. Okay, put a thumbs up if you're able to do that. Once everyone has done it, let's share, let's have a look. This thing is awesome, man. This is what we'll share with everyone also at the end. Maybe we can take a picture of this once we have this. Everyone has done their part. All right, so the what we are grateful for, I guess we'll just read from here. Free from natural disasters, less natural disaster, loving family and friends, united, diversity and peaceful, warm, generous people, diverse greenery, diversity, peace, friends. Grab food. Yes, I was thinking, wondering when is somebody going to write about the different foods that we have. Diverse ethnicity, less natural disaster. Oh, it was there. Kind Malaysians, opportunities, harmony, green. Yay! Isn't it wonderful to be in Malaysia today, right now? Okay, take picture ready? Okay, great. Right, moving on. Now, everyone will have a My Malaysia story, I think. And even if you're not from Malaysia, maybe it's something that you can observe of Malaysia or and Malaysians, so that we can share it with everyone. My Malaysia story is actually very funny. I actually moved to this place fairly recently, about 5-6 years ago. And so I don't know anyone here, the neighbors, right? And then, so one day we were sitting downstairs and watching TV, and the doors were open. And then suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I actually saw this thing coming into the house. Now, I'm not too, it's a common thing because I love animals. So I have cats. So sometimes I have my cats in and out, the outside cats will want to come in. But when I turned around, I actually saw that it was a puppy. Puppy fit through the grill, so like this size, and it came in. And of course, the first thing is like a puppy walked in. We never had a puppy walk in, which was a wonderful thing. So never mind. The puppy decided that it would want to stay. It decides to choose this house and stay outside, and didn't want to leave. No matter what we did, like feed outside, whatever. So there we were on the same day going to buy dog food. We're going to buy dog toys, bone, and whatever that we needed to do for this dog. So by the next day, my neighbors had seen this dog. They're wondering, why is this dog here? Because they've never seen this dog. So suddenly, at the end of that day, the neighbors are having this conference outside, this Mesyuarat Agong, like a big meeting outside. And they are just talking to us and say, what can we do about this? Can you keep this dog? I will be the one to bathe the dog. I'll make sure. And then another neighbor says, I'll come and feed the dog, or, make sure there's food. And then another neighbor says, I'll take it for walks. So, but as long as they can stay, this dog can stay here. And to me, that was beautiful, because suddenly, from not knowing my neighbors and not my neighbors not knowing me, they now know us. And they know, and because of this common theme that we have amongst these few neighbors, we all are known as the animal-loving neighbors, and we are always looking out for one another and our animals, our pets. So that is my Malaysian story, and how, regardless of the race and the language or whatever, we are connected through one common theme, which is our love for animals. So that's my Malaysia story, and I'm sure you guys will have something to also share from your life here. So what we are going to do is break you out into different rooms. Think about your story. Okay, take about a minute, and while we're sorting your rooms out, you will be going into separate rooms, and in your room, introduce yourself and share your Malaysian story, and then pick the one that you like. And then when we come back into the main session, that person will share that story. So we'll have a few sharings there. Okay, everyone okay with the instructions?
Okay. Didi, for those who are not from Malaysia, if we have any foreigners in the room, they can also share their Malaysian story.
Yeah. What you observe of Malaysia or Malaysians. Could be the food. All right, great. So do you need a minute to think about this while we sort out the breakout rooms? Kathy?
Breakout rooms ready. I'm opening the breakout rooms now, yeah?
We'll have about 5 minutes, right, for everyone sharing? Yeah. Okay, we'll keep time and we'll let you know. Do we have rooms, Kathy?
Yeah, I think, Didi, you have to select a room because you're the host. Cheng, do you have the invitation to join a room?
Yes, yes, yes. I am joining.
Okay, I'm going. Bye.
So I'm setting timer
And
for
then
5 minutes.
the timer, right? Kathy, you're going to broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's back.
First in the main room.
They were
Hello.
enjoying good conversation, so they extended. So
We
we
did
can
extend.
They're slowly coming back.
a lot of things to talk about, a colorful Malaysia experience. So
That's lovely.
But definitely one stood out in everybody's conversation. I'm sure you can guess, Kathy.
I can guess.
It's not a hard one, Kathy.
Yeah.
With the laughter, I can tell.
you're saying you can tell, but you're not telling. Tell lah.
It's Shivani's story, right?
No, yeah. Oh, Shivani stories. No, we're talking about what is interesting. Everybody share the same thing.
Oh, what was that? That was not the question to me. So what was that?
I'm not gonna answer.
Take a wild guess. What would be the main topic?
The food.
He's the foodie.
Patol.
That's so Malaysian.
Did I prove my Malaysianness?
I think, in fact, if we travel, the first thing also we look for is food also.
That is so true. And
Huh?
I honestly crave to come
I
back
think
and
instead
have
of
my sambal.
visiting the country to see its beauty, first we look at what they're going to serve there, what food we can try, something we never tasted before.
You explore
Something very nice.
the country through all of your senses, and taste being one very, very important one.
That's lemak.
Everybody back?
Yes.
Okay. So that we gave you guys extra time because we just felt everyone's getting excited about sharing their Malaysian story. Right? Okay. So would anybody like to share from the first group? Who's the first group? Or from my group? Why don't we do? We didn't pick the one that we like to share, but maybe you guys can decide between Bravo, Mala, and Zoe. What would you like to say or summarize?
Oh, my team is group
Yes.
2, right? Yep. Okay, I can start for my group. So we talk about how beautiful Ipoh is from Mala, right? How nice people is and how slow they are, right?
Even the flies.
Even the flies. Yeah, and through her journey, you know, people from around the world that work in Ipoh, she's been sharing our languages, the love of Malaysian, the warmness of Malaysian hospitality as well. I share about growing up in kampong, really kampong, where I don't tell people my friend is Malay, Chinese, or Indian. They are just my friends, right? Yeah, and we just don't have lines, right? We go into masjid, temples, and whatever it is to just play around, mandi sungai and all this kind of thing. Yeah, mix up growing up with some part of Orang Asli as well. So I see that part of the lifestyle of Orang Asli. So that's a whole Malaysia for me. And Zoe come from historical. Yeah, that's where all the yeah, just lovely people in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The other group who would like to share one story? All right, Dan. I see Daniel's hand.
Yeah, we selected Emmy.
Okay. Emmy.
Well, all the stories are really wonderful, and it really shows what Malaysia is all about. You know, JJ, Daniel, Chen Ho all mentioned about how people were in harmony, especially during the olden days. I think JJ agrees. I agree with you, because we could just step into each other's home. You know, we considered everybody as, you know, uncles, aunties, whatever race they were, and I think that is the wonderful part of Malaysia. Well, my story actually starts in Malaya days, because as you know, my name is rather unusual. It's because I'm Japanese, by race 100%, but I always consider myself 100% Malaysian, right? And it started in Malaya because my grandparents were the one who first migrated to Malaya, all right? But there was a break in that, you know, stay in Malaya, because after World War II broke out, my mother, who was born here, my father, who was in Singapore, actually were all sent back to Japan. And I was born in Japan. But when I was 6 years old, my mother especially decided that I'm still a Malaysian because she grew up here, so she remembers all about Malaysia. And so that's why we decided to come back and build our life here. And that's Malaysia. Besides, the people who are warm and friendly, the food is fantastic. I think there's no place in the world where that you have so much variety of food and tastes so good. Okay, so that's my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmy. All right, next group. Who do we have? Ronald's group is which one, Ronald?
I can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm not sure how many of you are expats in this group or if there's anyone. Hi, I'm Shivani. I'm an expat here in Malaysia. I came here about 5.5 years ago. I came with a 2-year plan and it's already been 5.5 years and still I don't see any signs of us going back to India anytime soon. Yeah, so a few things. I mean, I've never in my country seen green, like so much of green patch. I mean, I've never ever seen that. I mean, it's so congested. Any state you pick, I mean, you would never see so much of greenery. That blew our minds when we came here. We were like, oh my God, I have space to breathe, finally. So that was the first realization. And I think what has really made us stay for so long is why we love Malaysia is the warmth that we have received from everyone around us. I mean, be it colleagues, be it friends, be it neighbors, be it like any community that we've been a part of in the last 5.5 years. Just an example, when we moved here, me and my husband, within a year, I had to go through a medical treatment and that went on for a few months. I mean, recovery procedure and everything like taken together, it took a few months. And during that time, my husband was in an intensely traveling job. I would hardly get to see him over the weekends. And he could never do this travel with a free mind back in India. He's like, oh my God, we have to call mom. We have to call your sister to take care of you. Here he's like, oh yeah, you have this one, no, this friend of yours. Let's call her and she can be with you. And actually they obliged. I was so surprised. I mean, people took turns to be with me while my husband was away. And that was so touching for me. I was like, I could have never, ever expected this from any other place or anywhere else. Even in India, I sometimes used to struggle. I'm like, okay, who's available? Let me see if somebody can come and help. And here people were like, no, I'm there. You don't have to worry. I mean, go, let your husband go and let him travel and we'll be there with you. And like, that was so heartwarming to see. Next thing, I mean, of course, the food. And I was always a foodie, but I was never a blogger. Malaysia turned me into a food blogger. Now I have my own food blog. So that's what makes me stay here. And that's what makes me love this place. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful story. Yes, yes. The food
Thank you.
unites us all. Okay. I love that. Okay. And did we miss any other groups, Kathy?
There's one more group.
There's one more.
Who is
I
it?
think it's our group with myself, Captain Chan, Zoe, and June. But can I just, because as we were discussing, Zoe was trying to finish up a reflection of hers. Zoe, maybe we can get you to this, share what your story was from our group.
Thank you, Roshan. I was inspired when Captain Shan shared his vision, the one to develop the leader. And it so resonated with me today. On this special day, I'm joining this facilitation with everyone because I know that I can learn with a genuine people. What I wanted to share just now is that when I reflected the journey, adult education, where for career development, professional or personal development, this is something when I experience is something different. And I hope we can make a difference. But one thing for sure is that I appreciate the resilience value where I learned from the hard way, and perhaps that is a platform for me to learn in a different way, to support myself and also to help others. So why I say so is that as you Google, for example, and it's like working for so long. If you want, either we continue further study in academic or to launch into the professional development. There are many choices out there, but we do not know what will be the so-called the appropriate choices. So as I listen to the introduction of the facilitator today in the learning development, human potential, this is what we need for a certain group of people like me. I'm not getting any so-called professional development from the company. It's a self-funded. The self-funded, I could have made whatever choices. The risk is on my side. So it's important to have a dialogue, to have a facilitation for a learning development to continue to grow. And it's just not to people they start working, but people has been like me have been working for so long. So this I would like to take this opportunity to share the capacity as a Malaysian I can be, and I would like to offer. Thank you.
You just a side note, in your careers, we will always have different priorities and we'll always have crossroads that we'll need to get to, and it is a common thing. So you have the potential and the wisdom. All right, okay, so moving on. We'll move to the next session where Cheng will facilitate for you. Over to you, Cheng. Ho.
Hi, thank you, Didi. And it's so wonderful to have so many beautiful people here listening to your wonderful stories. Now, the session that Didi had led us was, we see the beauty of Malaysia, not just for the eyes, but also we can feel the warmth and beauty to the hearts. I believe everybody resonates there because that's the Malaysia that we have and the Malaysia that we are living in. So having understanding the stories, the good old days, or what you love of Malaysia, let's travel into a time tunnel to 100 years later, where we are just, within this 100 years, we are passing by in this time tunnel, and 100 years later, some of you may not be seeing what Malaysia will look like. But it would be great for us to have a wish to think of, 100 years later, in this time tunnel, I have stayed in Malaysia. I passed by in Malaysia during this time. What are the values or behaviors that we wish to see will still exist in Malaysia in 100 years later? Okay, so take a minute to reflect. You can write on a piece of paper, what are the values or behaviors that would you love to see in Malaysia 100 years later? It could be because of you. It could be because of somebody else that you think, that person inspired me to spread kindness, that I wish his kindness, his way of kindness can still remain 100 years later. So we're going to have a minute. Okay, a minute is up. And now we are going to split into breakout rooms. And then you will have sharing and have some conversations about what are the values or behaviors that we would love to see in Malaysian by then. Okay, so we'll get assistance from Kathy to organize the breakout room for us. So you have, yes, around 5 minutes to share your values and behaviors that you wish to see.
Whiteboard, right?
The whiteboard or breakout room?
No, we're going to breakout room first.
Oh,
When they come back, we'll do the activity with the whiteboard. Thank you, Kathy. So invited to join a breakout room?
Didi, once again, you just masuk whichever room lah.
how really?
Slightly. Katie, can you please prepare the instructions of how to use the whiteboard, the slides? Thank you. Okay. Now, is everybody back?
Should be.
Okay, everyone is back. So welcome back to this main room. I believe you had some ideas, or you had some of your vision that you wish to see, the values and behaviors that in your room that you have discussed. So now what we're going to do is, for all that you have discussed, you're going to put your ideas on this whiteboard. Later we're going to share this whiteboard. So this is just a few steps to orientation of how to use this whiteboard. So you will see on the bottom right, there's this zoom in and zoom out. Click once, please, Kathy. Yes. And then on the left, click once. So this is to add sticky notes. So once the whiteboard is open, you will see that there will be all sticky notes already prepared for you. Just in case the sticky notes has run out, you may click on this button, you can see here, to add more sticky notes. And then double click on any of the empty sticky note to start typing. When you double click, you will see this thing showing. Okay, you will see the bold, italic, underline, all this, you can see that. And if you see another empty sticky notes is already with the outline or highlighted, that means somebody else is typing on it. Don't choose that. If not, they'll be overlapping. So look for the sticky notes, which is empty and not highlighted. Okay, just one quick check. Anybody joining from their mobile phone? Yes, Zoe. Okay, so we can also flash the interface for mobile phone. It's almost the same. You will see the zoom in and out. Yeah. Then to add sticky notes, Kathy, please, next. Yeah, one more time. Yes. this is how you will add sticky notes. And if you are typing, next. Okay, and one more time. Thank you. So double click again on the empty sticky note to start typing. If you see a highlighted one, you just don't use that sticky notes. Okay, so now we're going to show the whiteboard. Once the whiteboard is up, you may start typing. Pick one sticky note, double click on the sticky note. And then you can start typing. Didi? Yes. So please place one idea on one sticky note. Can you see the whiteboard with sticky notes? If you can't see, you can zoom out, then you'll be able to see, and then you can start to zoom in. Yeah. Pick any of this sticky note, double click and start typing.
What do we type? I missed that instruction.
Okay, you can type the values that you have discussed, those that you have prepared and you have shared, or maybe there are some other values after you have discussed and then you sort of want to amend it or add on it. Yes, thank you, Kathy. If anybody you have difficulty typing in, you may type in the chat box and Kathy will help to transfer them into the sticky notes. Look for those not highlighted sticky notes. If you are having a few of your values or behaviors on one sticky note, I would like to request you to split them into a few so that we can see one sticky note for one values or behaviors only. While there are still some others typing, you can have a look on this whiteboard. Look at the values and behaviors. Yeah, a few more to go. I would like to have the assistance from 2 volunteers. Anybody would like to volunteer? You may switch on your mic and call out your name. Two volunteers.
Doing me. Mala.
Mala. Okay, thank you, Mala. One more volunteer.
Me, Bravo.
Thank you, Mala and Bravo. Now, in this whiteboard, we know that there might be some of it is using the same words or same value. So I'd like to seek assistance from Mala and Bravo to help to see what are the same ones so that we can combine them together.
Okay.
To do the grouping, is it?
Yeah, we can just put them together. Like, is it authentic? Okay, we can drag it to the right side of the frame.
Okay.
When you are done, just let me know.
What was that?
Done?
Very weird. Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, thank you, Mala and Bravo. So what I'm
Right.
going to do next is we will have voting. So how do we vote is now you can click on the sticky notes, and then once you click on that sticky note, you will see that you can add emoji. So you will click on the love as the emoji. Can we show the slides, please, Kathy? Yeah, when you click on the sticky notes, you can select the emoji, add emoji, and then you will click on the love. So everybody, you will have 3 votes. 3 votes means you can vote all 3 on the same value, or you can vote on different values. If you were to vote on the same value for 3 times, so the vote number 1 will be love, vote number 2 thumbs up, vote number 3 clap. Then we know that you have casted all 3 votes on the same values or behaviors. Okay, so when you look at the whiteboard later, just select the sticky notes, add emoji with love, thumbs up, or clap. Okay, thank you. So let's quickly vote on the whiteboards.
Wow, right? Still loading, right?
No,
No,
we can see it already, Didi.
Yep.
Everyone will have 3 votes. Okay, we are almost done. And then we'll have a look at what are the top 3 votes here. Cultural preservation, there's 4. Respect 2, acceptance 3. Respect diversity, there are total 7. Compassion 3. Sense of community. So due to time, we will only select the top 3 values or behaviors and proceed with the next session, the next stage, which will be led by Roshan. Let's finalize what are the 3. Okay, so can I have a confirmation together with Kathy? We have this diversity for 7 votes.
Yep, that's correct.
Thanks, Roshan. We have cultural preservation for 4 votes.
Yes.
Okay, and we also have compassion 3 votes.
That's correct.
Acceptance is also 3 votes.
Acceptance is also 3 votes, yes.
Yep. So can we have everyone to vote once, either acceptance or compassion for once? You can vote with the what do you call it? The pop, the party pop. Vote with the party pop between acceptance and compassion.
I see acceptance. Where do I see compassion? Yeah.
Compassion is inside. Do you see green color below
Yes.
trusting?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what we can see here is still a draw between compassion and acceptance. Huh? Anybody hasn't voted yet?
I'm not sure if you can see mine. Oh yeah, okay. It's there.
Okay, right. So we have the higher vote between compassion and acceptance is compassion. So the third one would be compassion. Thank you, Kathy. Right, I know that the process has been slightly longer for us to navigate on this whiteboard. And now with the 3 values of behaviors, I'll pass the time to Roshan.
All right, thank you. So firstly, Chiang, just to confirm, so we have diversity, we have cultural preservation, and we have
compassion.
Compassion. Diversity, cultural preservation, and compassion. So everyone, so what we've been doing, everyone, before I go, just the last part of today's session, I'd just like to request everyone if it's okay, because I know it's a public holiday today, and we are navigating this conversation via Zoom. Sometimes it can take a little bit more time. Can I request for another maybe 15 minutes so we end at 11:45? Is that okay with everyone? Yes? All right. So thank you. Thank you so much. Now, what we will do is we've selected 3 of those values that we want to work on just for today. I mean, everything is important. All the ideas there are extremely important. But what we want to do is to look at the present. So what we have done is we have shared about a Malaysian story right at the beginning, where we came from, our history, right? What Malaysia looks like to us in the beginning. And then we looked at the future, right? 100 years from now, what do we want to see Malaysia like? What is Malaysia look like to us? What are the values that we hope to see between our communities, between our neighbors, you know? And now let's look a little bit deeper into ourselves, right? Look at the present now. The question that we want everyone to look at is, what can I do differently in my own capacity to achieve these values? So what can I do in my own capacity to achieve diversity, to achieve cultural preservation, and to achieve compassion? So what are we doing now is we're literally writing the story for Malaysia, writing the story for ourselves. We're going to create this sort of ripple effect, you know, to say that if I do all this, right, to achieve these values, hopefully in 100 years' time, we will see that in Malaysia, right? So what's going to happen now is we're going to break up into 3 breakout rooms, right? And we're going to have each breakout room will have a host. So it will be myself, Chiang, and Didi. And each one of us will take one of these values that were selected. So for example, I will take diversity, Chiang will take cultural preservation, and Didi will take compassion. And we'll be in your groups, right? So we'll have 3 minutes to share. Just share what will you do in your own capacity to achieve this value. So let's not look externally, right? Look internally. Let's not look at, oh, I need to change the parliament, I need to change the government, I need to change my organization, my boss, you know, and so on and so forth. Let's look at what I can do, what we can do on our own, right? So what we'll do is we will do that for 3 minutes. And once that is done, the next host will come in. So for example, if you start with diversity, right? The next one you're going to see is cultural preservation. And you'll have 3 minutes to share what we will do to achieve that cultural preservation. And the last one will be compassion. So what will you do to achieve compassion, right? So you'll get a chance to actually write what you will do for all the 3 values that have been just selected. Okay, so I hope I was clear. Anyone has any questions before we send you to your breakout room? Any questions from anyone? All good? Okay. Okay, so what we'll do now is we will break out into our breakout rooms, and you will have a host come in and you can begin to share what you're going to do in your own capacity to achieve those values that we just selected. So Kathy, just open up. Okay, right. So we've got breakout rooms already done, and we can go in and start discussing.
Didi, you'll be in room 2, yeah?
Okay.
Ronald, what would you say?
I was saying I voted
Would
you.
you? Yeah.
Your nonsense.
So
Please
I
lah.
think everyone is back, right? If I'm not mistaken, everyone is back. Yes. Okay. So I believe you managed to spend a little bit of time, you know, putting down some ideas on what you would like to do in your own community, right? And maybe we can start with just by sharing very, very quickly. I know we're running out of time, but just very, very quickly, I just want to show everyone what, you know, you all have written in all the groups. And this is what we had for the first group. So Mala, if you can, just very quickly, you know, just go through what is written down in this whole slide.
Yeah. For diversity, we said that we need to embed diversity into all our leadership programs, coaching and facilitation programs. Number 2, to be a role model ourselves in our family, in our community. So it's not just to talk, but to walk the talk. Third is to facilitate more conversations about diversity. Number 4, being more mindful about our own unconscious biases. 5, to embrace diversity by practicing and showcasing. And if you are educators, as teachers, share that with our students as well. Next, joining and attending different cultural activities from different communities. This will help not just appreciate, but support the culture going. Next, which is almost similar, attend as many cultural activities and shows as we can. Next, invite friends of different cultures to have tea or makan together. And then have a diversity day to celebrate diversity, and create a feature wall or feature walls wherever we are. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mala. Thank you. We can see some similarities in some of the points that are being shared, right? And as the person shares, we can start to internalize on some things that we want to do, some points that may you may have a reflection of something that is being shared, and to internalize that. Let me just move on to the next value, or the next point, which was cultural preservation. So do we have someone who would like to just bring us through very quickly on some of these points?
Like the last group was with me. Maybe somebody from there can just share.
Yeah, Raul here. So I was sharing that cultural preservation. So what we can do is by storytelling, the good old days, sharing those grow up in those cultural differences, practice traditional and language, support different culture by attending or organizing show, festival, cooking, eating, open house, those kind of thing. Take a showcase and share pictures of colors, black and white, the good old days and the difference in culture. Encourage and support indigenous to display their work and art. Mainly, of course, we want to know more about Borneo side as well. Visiting other places like museum, culture, preserve the language by passing it to next generation, teaching them. Dress up in cultural attire, not just on our own, but also dressing other cultures attire as well during those festival, visitation and stuff. Learning to cook different food from different culture. Everyone can learn how to cook nasi lemak already. Put a part of a school uniform, part of school curriculum. Yeah, if you're a teacher or in education, put that as a part of it. Sing songs in different races. Yeah, embark on different culture arts. Yeah, and organize more open house makan-makan.
Thank you, Bravo. We can already see so many similarities in terms of both the points that were just shared in terms of diversity and cultural preservation. But now let me just move on to the last one. It's the longest list we have for compassion. A lot of points in compassion. So can I get someone from this group, the last group that did this activity, just to quickly run through this?
Okay, so I'll be sharing about compassion. So first, most important thing is self-compassion first, then to others. Wearing a smile, do one compassionate activity a day that will impact others. Count to 10 before speaking. If angry, reflect the feeling of compassion. Seek help from a trustable contact when needed. Compassion through listening. Accept the person as who he or she is. Align thoughts and actions that show compassion. Role modeling. Apologize for mistakes made. Response with empathy. Say, I feel you. Listen to truly understand. Be grateful when people express empathy or compassion towards you. Being mindful of what the other person is going through. Having empathy. Reaching out without boundaries. that is beyond race, status, religion, and etc. Help others when they are in need without expectation. Don't think of something in return. And finally is being present. Thank you.
This is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. So this was, you've seen all the three groups, and I just want to just have 1 minute. Anyone has got anything to share based on what you have seen? Anyone?
Yeah, for me,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
okay. Thanks. I think for me, it would be there's actually hope for Malaysia. And it's all about just taking that one step at a time. And it's a really positive and blessed step, not just for me as a person, but for the other person as well. That's my take.
Thank you, then. Captain Chan.
Mine is, I think we need to have self-respect. And that will build a lot of our character. And which I mentioned in my book, right? And at the end of the day, it's about you knowing yourself and respecting yourself. And all those that we discussed earlier, these are the things that we need to put into action. A lot of time we hear only, all the what's, but the important is the how. We all can talk about it, but the how to do it. And that comes from understanding ourselves as well. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Captain Chan. Thank you, Daniel. Now, I know I've taken up more time than we should have on your Saturday Malaysia Day. But, thank you everyone for actually participating. We tried to do something a bit more in-depth to focus on ourselves. And that's what I think we achieved, in having that passion and that self-respect, like what Captain Chan mentioned, and to internalize some of these actions that we would like to take to see the ideal Malaysia that we would like to have. And it all starts with us. Let's not put our focus on the external factors that is beyond our control, and let's start looking at us internally and what we can do in our own capacity, in our own families, in our own houses and organizations. So with that, I hope you can, what we will do is actually we'll take screenshots of all the things that we just shared, including all the values, all the points, all the actions that we like to take as well. And we will send a document to everyone here who has attended. You can use that as a self-reflection and get some inspiration from there as well. And with that, I would like to conclude our session for today. And I hope you have some thinking points about and inspiration for our Malaysia Day. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll just pass it back to Isabel. I would just like to add one more thing, thanks to Chiang and Didi as well as partners on this facilitation journey. We spent a lot of time trying to prepare something for y'all. And I think we did too much. We got all our passions in and hopefully it went well. And I would like to also thank Kathy, the person who is our tech person for the day. I think on a very stressful job today, moving everyone around, trying to make sure everything's okay. So thank you, Kathy.
Congratulations to MAFa. Selamat Hari Malaysia. Bye.
Anybody doing open house today?
No, I've got a wedding, Rhonda. Sorry, we cannot bring you there. Bye. Enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye.
Ronald, jealous apa ada? Come.
Ayo.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody, hold on just a moment.
Before we jump off.
Hungry. So I would like to personally, the MAFa team would like to thank Didi, Cheng, and Roshan for a rather reflective and engaging session. It was nice to see smiles during the reflection period, hear laughter in your voices while sharing personal experience about Malaysia. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating actively throughout the session. And with that, we have come to the end of our very first session for the 2023 Facilitation Week.
And Isabel, we have something coming up next week, in the next few days, next week.
Kathy, could you please share? So we look forward to seeing you
Sorry, my laptop is just deciding to,
Oh,
give
no problem. Maybe if I can help. Yeah. We have Zoe coming up on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And Zoe is a young, brilliant, exciting teacher and principal to share with us. There we go. Isabel, back to you.
Can continue, Daniel.
Okay. Zoe is a young person who is really passionate about what people really need. And she's going to be talking about and facilitating trust and autonomy, and how that can really help bring people together and grow people together using her latest experiences in being in a foreign country. So make sure you are here if you can free your diaries, as well as invite your friends and family to come share with us. Yeah. So thank you so much, Isabel.
Okay, then. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
Group hug.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, take care.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good weekend.
Same to you, Zoe. Bye.
Thank
you, Isabel.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Shivani.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Zoe.
Thank you, Daniel. I really must say that, right? The value, the compassion ended our reflection today is really awesome. It's really, really awesome.
Thank you, Zoe.
Okay. Look forward to see everyone again. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ha. Okay.